and welcome to TQM TV with me, Dr. Michelle Cracked, in the amazing Agatha Christie Gallery.
And on location here in the museum's store and the galleries, it's me, Prof. Al Booman. Michelle, what are we talking about today?
Today's film is all about mammals. The museum's natural history store holds about 700 mammal specimens in the zoology collection, including complete taxidermy animals. There are also more than 27,000 bones and bone fragments from mammals that form part of the paleontology collections. Some were found in cave sites in South Devon. We'll talk to one of the curators about these later. What have you found in the store, Al?
Oh, Michelle, look at this. I have the largest specimen in the museum's collection. It's a buffalo head. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. It's bigger than my head.
The study of mammals is called mammalogy. Mammals evolved from cold-blooded reptiles to become warm-blooded like birds, which means that they can maintain a stable body temperature, usually warmer than their environment. There are now approximately 5,400 species of mammals living on the Earth, divided into 3 groups depending on how they reproduce. Group 1 are egg-laying, Group 2 are marsupial mammals that keep their babies in a pouch while they grow, and Group 3, placental mammals which give birth to live young.
Did you know, Michelle, that 2/3 of the world's marsupial species live in Australia and the other third are in South America? The name marsupial comes from the marsupium, which is a pouch or a flap of skin on the mum's belly. The babies are born very early. They're still blind with underdeveloped limbs, and they are called joeys. Now, after birth, the little joey has to crawl up mum's tum until it gets to the safety of the pouch where it can stay for up to 6 months while it develops. That's amazing! Michelle, what's your favourite mammal?
Rabbits are my favourite mammals. Here you can see a rabbit's skeleton, and this is one of the museum's taxidermy rabbit samples. Did you know that rabbits have really soft fur, Al?
Oh, Michelle, you should always wear your gloves when you're touching taxidermy specimens. The largest mammal that has ever existed is the blue whale, which can weigh up to 200 tonnes and is up to 30 metres long. The largest land mammal in the world is the African elephant, which can weigh between 6 and 7 tonnes, although giraffes are the tallest land mammals, of course. The smallest mammals in the world include the Etruscan shrew, which is smaller than this little guy here, and a bat called Kitty's hognose bat, which is the size of a bumblebee, and it's called the bumblebee bat. Humans are animals as well. So I'm here in the Ancestors Gallery of the museum with Claire, one of the museum curators, and I want to find out a little more about prehistoric mammals and the collection. So Claire, what are the objects we have here on the table?
Okay, so towards the back of the table I have 3 modern animal skulls. We have a hyena, a bear and a rhinoceros. So these are examples of things that used to live in Devon, in Torquay, but are now extinct here. So at the front of the table I've got examples from Kent's Cavern that show us that these animals were here. So we have some hyena teeth in a little bit of jawbone. We have a woolly rhino tooth, so that's not the same species as the skull from behind, and a bear tooth.
How old are they?
They all come from Kent's Cavern, so they probably date. They could be around 40 to 60,000 years old, but some of them might be up to 200,000 years old.
And is a modern bear skull the same size as a cave bear skull?
No. Well, we think there are 2 or maybe 3 species of bear that lived in the cave, and the cave bears would have been much larger than the modern bear that you can see on the table.
So Claire from the museum has very kindly gone into the natural history store and found 2 mammal specimens. And Claire, are these extinct mammals?
No, these still live in the world, but they are both very endangered.
And so Claire, what are the 2 specimens you have provided us with?
So we have a pangolin, which is under serious threat due to poaching. Well, it's eaten, and people want the scales for traditional medicine.
Ah, and the other one, now even I can see that's a cat. What sort of cat is it?
That's a Scottish wildcat. They're critically endangered in the UK. They used to live all over the whole country, but they were persecuted, and now they only live in the north of Scotland, and they've started interbreeding with domestic cats. There's very few true wildcats left in the wild.
Let's go back to Michelle in the newsroom and see what she's getting up to. That is not what I was expecting to see. Michelle, you appear to have Lego morphed. Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine, thanks, Al. This just in: the merits of mammals. Wild and domesticated mammals form an important part of the food chain, providing meat and milk for humans and meat for other mammals, birds and reptiles. Some mammals are predators and help to control populations of their prey. Humans have used leather, fur and wool for thousands of years. Camels, horses, donkeys and mules work as beasts of burden, pulling or carrying heavy loads and people. Some mammals have also become companion animals to humans. Dogs, cats, horses, rabbits and goats all make wonderful pets. In addition to pets, we have assistance animals, making use of their abilities to detect things such as drugs, explosives, firearms and money. Great examples are dogs, highly trained police and search and rescue dogs, as well as guide dogs, hearing dogs and emotional support dogs. Most of the mammals we've mentioned so far are land-based creatures, but some mammals live in water, spending some or all of their lives in the oceans or freshwater. Let's go over to Al, who will tell us more about aquatic mammals.
Thanks, Michelle, and to get to the bottom of aquatic mammals, I'm going to have to take the plunge, so here goes. The marine mammals include cetaceans, that's whales including the narwhal and the beluga, dolphins, porpoises. Then we have pinnipeds, seals, sea lions and walruses. The sirenians, that's manatees and dugongs known as sea cows. And the marine fissipeds, polar bears and sea otters. And look at the size of this whale. It's bigger than me.
Humans are also mammals, and we need to protect all of the world's other mammals. We need to stop intensive farming for meat and fur, and hunting and trapping them, using them for medical ingredients and cosmetic testing. If we humans act inhumanely towards our fellow mammals, we risk losing them forever.
Indeed, Michelle. If we don't look after all the animals we share this planet with, in the future we may only be able to see them in zoos and museums. Well, listen guys, I'm off to put a veggie burger on the barbie. We hope you've all enjoyed this series of films, and thanks for watching. And this is why you should always wear your gloves when you're touching a taxidermy specimen.